Next up at UFC Vegas 40, we have Ľudovít Klein versus Nate the Train Landwehr. This is one where I wish Nick was with us. He's just so freaking busy. But Nick does a very awesome Nate the Train in the Southern accent. And that's his buddy back from the XFC when they both were fighting there. Go back and watch our last breakdown if you want to hear Nick yell Nate the Train. And this honestly is a fight where a hype man would be awesome because this will be a war. I imagine this is going to be a really fun drag him out fight. Ľudovít Klein 17-3 overall, 4-1 in his last 5, and he's coming off of a somewhat controversial loss. A lot of people think he won that last fight, which will make him 5-0 in his last 5. Nate Landwehr 14-4 overall, 3-2 in his last 5, and every single one of those was entertaining as hell to watch. Ludovít is a phenomenal striker. He's smooth. He's fast. He's accurate. He's big for this weight class. He has missed weight in the past, but I think that should be under control at this point. He has fantastic kicks, and that was very obvious when he was riding a 3-fight head kick knockout streak before his last fight. Considering how good his striking is, his last fight was an interesting one because he had 4 takedowns. He didn't win every striking exchange, and he was backing up a good amount, but he had 4 takedowns in his last fight. So this guy, who we know is a phenomenal striker and incredibly smooth on his feet, all of a sudden introduced a new element to his game with 4 takedowns. And if you're watching, if you're playing DraftKings, that's 20 points just from the takedowns, not including anything else that happens. And that's another nice little tool that he has in his back pocket. Nate Landwehr is a definition of feast or famine. He will go out there, be busy as hell, run forward, throw wild, and look for a finish at all costs. He's a talented guy with power and skills, but he's almost too focused on putting on a show, too focused on being exciting, too focused on being this Nate the Train character. And he puts himself in harm's way many times for no reason. He's never been in a boring fight. I don't think this one will be boring either. But I just, some of the decisions Nate makes in a fight, as a fan, I love it. Go ahead, get in that war. But as somebody who likes to put money on fights, I don't know if I can trust all of those decisions. Anytime you have somebody like Nate with his crazy forward pressure, you can always have an upset, right? He can go out there, charge Ludovít, crack him, put him out, fight's over, Nate the Train screaming, yelling, run around the cage. Anytime you have that type of wild and that type of pressure, that's absolutely a possibility. But Ludovít's footwork is so good and so clean, and he has legitimate power. He should be able to circle away from the crazy, land big, and those will add up. I think Ľudovít Klein is going to get a stoppage here at some point, and it's literally going to be his footwork and just how smooth his movements are to make that happen. Ľudovít Klein, his striking is phenomenal. Obviously, again, you get the wild, the crazy of somebody like Nate. Anything's possible, but let's assume we have a pretty straightforward fight and they both fight to their best of their abilities. And if that's the case, Ľudovít Klein's striking footwork, he will just absolutely dance around Nate and just bang him over the head any chance he gets. $9,200 is a lot of money, but I will probably have him in my DraftKings lineup. I do think there's a stoppage here. He's a -300 favorite. We'll have to see what some of those props are. If you're looking to bet on this fight, Nate is a tough guy, but he's just going to be way outclassed here. So I think it's a pretty cut and dry win, honestly, for Ľudovít Klein. And his last fight, we talked about a little bit of controversy. He had 4 takedowns there. He was outstruck. If you look at the total number of strikes, he was outstruck, but he had 4 takedowns, had some control. I think he lost, but a lot of people think he won that fight. So, either way, this should be a pretty good fight. I think Nate's line is too high because I do think he gets stopped. So this may be a more on Ludovít and a less on Nate type situation, or a less, right? If you think this goes 3 rounds, then it's Ludovít dancing around just beating up Nate. If you think this is sort of a 2-round, it's mostly that, and Ludovít's going to catch him. So less is probably the pay. 54 is not a ton of strikes, but less is probably the play because Ludovít's, I imagine, is going to move out of the way and just crack Nate a few times, or not even move out of the way. He might just stand there and as Nate's coming in wild, just crack him. So less is probably the play. There's probably going to be a stoppage here, and I think Ludovít's great for knockout kings And that's Monkey Knife Fight, wewantpicks.com/MKF. Super easy, super fun. You can triple your money with plays, all the way up to 25 times your money if you want to smash some of them together. And all you got to do is look at these strike lines and pick a side, wewantpicks.com/MKF.